and it's a new year, 2025. I'm going to go to something this weekend that I've never been before, and that is the PBR Monster Energy Buck-Off at Madison Square Garden presented by Ariat. I've never been to a bull riding event. I have no clue what to expect, but I can't wait to do so. And you get tickets all throughout the weekend. It's Friday through Sunday at Ticketmaster.com. And John Crimber now joins us in studio, and he's hailed as a generational talent who has lived up to the hype as the most exciting young bull riding prospect to emerge in recent history. So, John, I know you've been to New York City before and you've performed here before, but we appreciate you coming on in studio.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
And I appreciate, by the way, the hat that you guys brought.
There you go. Looks good.
You know, I got to pull it up a little bit. But the hat looks good. I had my own hat, actually, that I brought in, but you guys bring me a nice official one. I don't usually own a hat like this.
Yes, sir.
But my dad once, he had to go to some gala, and then he wore it to a wedding on the East Coast, and everyone knew when you're on an East Coast wedding,
yes, sir,
right, the guy that walks in a cowboy hat. So
yeah, there you go. It looks good, though.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I try to look the part from time to time. So
yes, sir.
What can I expect? You're the phenom. You're the generational talent. You're only 19. I've seen all your videos on social media, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. When I walk into this building on Saturday night, Madison Square Garden, I've been there countless times. What can I expect at an event like this?
You're going to expect probably, like top 35 best bull riders in the world. It's going to be lots of emotions. It's going to be it's going to be either really bad, really good sometimes. Like, it's just a mix of emotions, but it's going to be a thrill. It's an adrenaline rush, and it's going to be a good time for sure.
So take me through your journey. I know this is kind of the family business for you with with your dad kind of getting you involved at such a young age, but you took interest in this when you were 5 years old. How did that all come about?
My dad, he's always rode bulls. He's a professional bull rider. He's made the PBR World Finals 10 times. And growing up, I just kind of looked up to him and wanted to be just like him and be a bull rider. So growing up, I was 3 years old when I got on my first sheep, and then 5, I got on my first bull, and just went on from there. It's something I've always wanted to do. I don't think I've ever thought in my mind I want to be something different than a bull rider. So
wow, so 5 years old, you got up on the bull for the first time.
Yes, sir.
I'll see like a skunk in the Poconos, and I'll be freaking out. Were you ever afraid of the bull?
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's scared. I think it's just you're just excited, butterflies, and you're just anxious to get down there and do your job.
So there's one thing, right, when you're 5 or like 6. Like when I was 5 or 6, I said I wanted to be a baseball player. Then I couldn't hit a curveball. I know that's not going to happen. So eventually I said, I want to be a radio host, and I ended up being what I think is somewhat good at this. For you, when did you realize, okay, this is not only something that I want to do, but man, not only am I good at it, but I could do this professionally?
I mean, I always knew that I wanted to be a bull rider, but when I first kind of was like, all right, maybe this is what I'm going to be, probably like 12 and 10 years old around there. 2015 probably. I don't even know how old I was, but 2015. That was when I was like, okay, this is what I want to be. Well, I'm going to have to work at it every day to be the best I can be. So
kind of how does, because, right, you're a generational talent.
Yes, sir.
And we've talked to a lot of college athletes, right, for the NFL draft, NBA draft, that end up living up to the hype. Some people don't. For you, because you're at still such a young age of only 19, is it surreal how quickly stardom has come your way and how successful you've been at this?
It kind of all came really fast. Just 19 years old and won the MVP and all that stuff, second in the world. It opened my eyes just a little bit there. I was like, all right, I'm pretty all right at this. I'm not too bad. So it's something that you kind of have to not really get it too much in your head, because I try to be a humble guy. I try to be humble as it can be, because it could all come and go quick, fast, and in a hurry. So you never know what the day of tomorrow is going to bring. So I just try to live it day by day, and I enjoy every moment of it.
Now, obviously, injuries can occur when you're participating in a sport like this in bull riding. As John Crimber is in studio with us once again, Ticketmaster.com. You can check out PBR Monster Energy Buck-Off at Madison Square Garden presented by Ariat this weekend. I'll be in attendance on Saturday evening. But for you, I was seeing some of the videos of the eye socket injury.
Yes, sir.
And you've talked about that very openly. Just kind of recall that moment and what it did for your career.
I was 17. I was fixing to turn 18 and start my professional career, and I went to some bull riding, and I just got whooped down, and this bull hit me with his horn right in my eye. And I thought I was blind first, and then I got up, went, took a picture. My dad wasn't there; I was by myself, and I sent him a picture. He's like, "Oh, you probably need a couple stitches. You'll be all right." I was like, "Okay." I thought my eye was gone, but he was like, just sounded so simple. I was like, "Hey, all right, it's good." Went to the hospital, and the doctor said my eye socket was broke. There was no bone in there; like it was completely gone. It was about a couple inches away from my brain, actually, like the break and stuff. So it was pretty bad deal. And so I actually had state finals the next weekend, high school state finals, and I had a ride there. So I told the doctor, I said, "Look, could it get worse?" He's like, "Oh, I mean, you can ride it. Nothing's gonna happen to it because there's no bone there to break." So I'm like, okay, well, I got on bulls that week, and then next week I got surgery.
That week you got back on?
Yes, sir.
And there was no fear of what could happen?
There's no fear. It was a lot of pain, though. I had to take pills every day, every like hour I was taking something because it hurt really bad, but it's part of it.
Now, you talk about finals, so you were in high school.
Yes, sir.
So you're starting to get some of this publicity. People starting to say, "Oh, you got to watch this John Crimber guy. He's going to be really damn good, family lineage and all that stuff." What was high school like for you?
I really wasn't there too often. I was always gone. But, like, I played football and stuff, and I enjoyed playing football. But it was all my friends were like they just kind of looked at me differently. I don't know. I didn't like it. I was like, man, I'm just a normal kid just out here just riding bulls. That's what I was doing. And
because I'm only 30, and when I was in college, right, social media was a thing.
Yes, sir.
But now everywhere you go, people are taking pictures.
Oh, yeah.
They're recording. They're always trying to get one of those gotcha moments anything, for people to go viral.
Yes, sir.
Like, you probably have taken millions of selfies at this point of life.
Yeah.
So it's like you're a star when you're in high school.
Yes, just a little bit. I mean, like, I walk around and people would ask me for autographs, or I would just go to hang out in Fort Worth. That's right by my town. And people would just come up to me like, "Hey, you John Crimber?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Can I get a picture?" I'm like, "What?" No, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I just weird, I just want to be out there having a good time, but people just notice you, and it kind of makes me feel good about myself sometimes.
Is that a little bit difficult? Because I'm sure there's some times where you just want to be a kid or a young adult, and you're 19 and you're smacked right into the public eye, and everyone expects you to always be on it at 100 each and every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard sometimes because everywhere I go, they'll notice you and they'll know who you are, and so you kind of just got to watch what you're doing, because like you said, people are always wanting to see, trying to get a gotcha moment. So I just try to go out there and be myself, but watch what I'm doing sometimes also.
Yeah, so John Crimber here with us. I'm not going to BS you here. I'm not going to sit here and try to be an expert in this stuff like some other talk show hosts would. I know football, I know baseball, I know basketball, I know hockey. What is like the next step for you and your journey? And obviously you've accomplished so much. I can read all the accolades and all that. But how do you kind of see the next few years playing on out for you?
I just want to go out there and be the best bull rider in the world, and that's by getting the world title. Last year was my first year, and I got second. I was pretty close to winning it, so kind of opened my eyes a little bit on how bad I wanted it. So hopefully we'll win a couple more here in these next couple of years.
Now, I've been to a bunch of Super Bowls, and you see teams that lose, and then they get back there. And it's okay. I could see from a naked eye, that team's got to stop Patrick Mahomes in the big moment, or that team can't miss a special teams tackle. For you, when you finish second, what do you then try to improve on?
Just on everything, For last year was kind of a learning year for me, my first year in the PBR. So I just took everything as a learning phase. The World Finals, I had pressured moments where I had to stay on and still be in the race for a world title. So it took my mental game in a lot of different ways, how to just kind of go out there and have fun and not think about it, and it's not over till it's over. So.
This could be a really dumb question. I'll preface it that way. Are there like certain scouting reports on bulls, like, hey, a team will scout, all right, we know this defense. Like, do you know when you get on a bull that there's going to be some tougher bulls than others?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like at the World Finals, it was the last day. It was the last two bulls we got on, and it was I drew this bull. It's called Big Bank, and he's don't really ride him very often. Like that round was kind of a harder to ride bulls. Like you look at the draw and you're like, all right, these are gonna be tougher. So I drew this bull and I was not confident at all. It was like, what the heck? Like I drew this bull today, this day, had to be this day. And I was like, okay, it's all right. I just went out there and I got my highest smart ride of my career, was 95 points. And I was just surprised myself because I had to stay on to be in the world title race. And I was just like, okay, maybe it's possible. If I rode this bull, I'm good. I can ride about anything. So,
John Crimber here with us for a few more minutes in studio. The first time I've heard of you was the Travis Hunter video, actually.
Yes, sir.
Because that goes into our world, and you've had a cool relationship now with Travis Hunter. Tell the listening audience about that.
It was really special for me because I've always been a fan of Travis Hunter, and we were sitting there at Fort Worth Countdown Coliseum for the PBR World Finals, and I'm fixing to get on, and my buddy texted me. He's like, dude, Travis Hunter's here. I was like, there is no way this guy is here at the World Finals. Like, just what are the possibilities of this guy being here? And Kate Harrison, she's a video. She interviews people over there. She called me. She's like, hey, come do an interview real quick. I was like, okay. And out of nowhere, someone just pokes me on my shoulder. And I look back, and it's Travis Hunter. I'm like, what the heck? That's wild. Like, it just caught me off guard. And I told him he hadn't won the Heisman yet. And I was like, I'm going to hit the Heisman for you. He's like, okay. I rode my bull, hit the Heisman, and it blew up. And ever since then, we kind of kept in contact. And I told him, I said, whenever you're in Texas, come on, I want to show you a little bit of my culture, because he likes that stuff. He loves fishing, hunting, and I wanted to show him a little bit about bull riding too. So whenever he comes down there, you'll probably see a couple videos of us. Might put him on a bull. We'll see.
But that's such a cool moment, right? Because we know what he's accomplished, and we know what you've accomplished. For you to just kind of be a kid in a moment like that and be in awe of someone had to be pretty neat.
Oh, yeah. It made me feel really special because, it's like us meeting Patrick Mahomes or something like that, like a really famous guy. And I was just like a fangirl, and I was like, man, I kind of felt weird, but I was like, you know what? It's a moment that's probably unforgettable moment for me. So
I'm glad you bring up Mahomes, right? Because I get this release, like a bunch of notes on you, and it says John Crimber is hailed as a generational talent. He's lived up to the hype as the most exciting young bull riding prospect to emerge in recent history. You look at Patrick Mahomes, right? He's the emerging star, the generational talent in the NFL. You know how much weight and clout that carries. For you to be that now in the bull riding world, I see your face lighting up just by that. Yeah. It's got to kind of be surreal when you hear that in the same sentence. Oh,
yeah. It makes me feel good about myself because just showing that hard work and all that dedication, it's paying off. Guys like him, I look up to him too because of just how he takes the pressure, and he doesn't faze him at all. He just goes out there, plays the game, and it's having fun. So for me, I try to do the same thing. Just go out there and have fun, and everything has a consequence. And being good, I guess, is sometimes having people talk to you about like that.
Yeah. Last thing I'll ask you: you have a lot of people that are going to tune in, and they'll know who you are. But there'll be some people that they expected us to be talking college football right now, and only college football right now. For people that don't know about you, what do you want them to know about you?
Just that I'm just a little 19-year-old kid living the dream. That's about it. That's it. That's all you gotta know. That's me.
What kind of music you like?
Man, I love country music. I like rap. I listen to rap before I get on my bulls and stuff. So.
Oh, that's the pregame playlist is rap.
Yes, sir.
What kind of artist is?
NBA YoungBoy.
Okay.
I try to get in that mode where I'm like, all right, this thing's dead for me. So I try to listen to guys like him, just kind of get me fired up, get that motor running.
Yeah, like how else do you, besides music, how else do you get in the zone before you get up on a bull?
Man, I try to actually before every time before I go to the event, I sit there in my room and I play Johnny Manziel's documentary, and I watch the part where he played Alabama, where everyone doubted him, no one thought they would win, and he just tweeted that deal: give to them nothing and take from them everything. And after that, I was like, all right, I'll turn it off and I'll go to the arena, and that's what kind of fires me up too. Just listening and watching how he goes about it as well. So I try. Well, not too much about how he goes about it because he
did that. Yeah,
a little less partying. But that point right there, well, that's when I listen to it.
It does seem as if, though, right? Because sometimes everyone just gets in their lane and it's like, okay, you probably emulate and try to replicate what other bull riders have done in the past. It seems as if you take a lot from other athletes.
Yes, sir. I love looking at like Kobe Bryant. He's a guy that had a mentality like I never seen, and I try to look at different athletes and see how their mental game is and the great ones, and that's what I do, and I try to replicate their mentality and take it to bull riding.
Well, I appreciate you coming in once again. For more information on the event coming up this weekend at Madison Square Garden, which I can't wait to be in attendance for on Saturday evening, you can check it out all weekend long, Ticketmaster.com. John Crimber, good luck and appreciate you coming on in.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.